Premiership and the Champions Cup. Taking charge of a game
right
at the top of the pile of the Allianz Premier 15s. Let's get going in the West Country. The unbeaten league leaders hosting the champions. Strap in for what should be an enthralling encounter at Kingsholm. Hunt with a first touch on the ball.
No hand, 6.
Looking to use her forwards.
Hold in front. Hold. Wingers run them on.
Kick is a deep one. Jess Breach gets one hand to it. Turns and has a bit of space to run into. Quick shimmy from Breach. Sure she'll enjoy playing on this 4G surface this afternoon. May Campbell.
Tackle!
Saracens took her into contact early on. Williams with a touch on the ball. It's a great line from Ellis and she offloads. Good work from Saracens. Carry hard by McMillan. Packer helps it on. Casolo into contact. The double tackle on the flanker. Bright early moments from Saracens as Mo Hunt gets into the arm of Ella Veerbass. First penalty to Saracens and Mo Hunt just going around the fringes.
Yeah, but what a lovely opening touch from Flo Williams. You know, we talked about at the beginning of the show, big shoes to fill with Zoe Harrison, but really quick hands, great line, and just starting to exploit the ways Gloucester are trying to put line speed on.
Flo Williams, early touch finder for her, gets the champions inside the 22.
Hold on. Wait, mate, please. Time off.
Time is off as I think it's more Muir down there, just taking a knee. The former Wasps front row, featured in all of England's games at the World Cup off the bench. Maud Muir, versatility of course to play across 1, 2 or 3 we saw in the Wasps days. Been a real impressive addition to this Gloucester-Hartpury pack.
She really has, and you know, for a young player is absolutely thriving in showing her worth, like you say.
I thought you started halfway up the ruck, so you were never onside. But I think your timing was right.
To be able to play across the board is interesting, and obviously we just heard the ref there talking to Mo.
Time back on.
Straight away,
clearly inside, just turned over. Gap, Gloucester!
First line out of the game. May Campbell throwing pretty well this season, but that has not gone to plan, and Cecilia Tuilapototu on the charge. Great run.
She missed the ball. From
the Welsh forward. Hunt wants quick ball. Beckett, first time with hands on the ball for her. Hurd is first receiver. Now Gloucester-Hartpury with a bit of space. Lund, here is Venner. Well lined up and dumped to the floor by Flo Williams.
What was that then?
Monaghan into contact, bringing in 2 forwards. George, Beckett, soft hands back inside to Powell. Gloucester-Hartpury just beginning to open things up. George again, bit of space in front of her, that's clever. Deep inside the 22, turning both Breach and Clapp. Here is the Saracens co-captain.
Tackle now!
Bit of work to do here for Saracens on the exit. That's a good charge forward by McMillan.
Hold in front, Sarries.
Williams now.
Just wait, 7.
End over end.
Now you're on.
The bounce, not taking it into touch. Oh, yes, it is. Sorry, off goes the assistant's flag for Gloucester-Hartpury about to counter.
What a great start to the game, isn't it? 2 line breaks, 3 by 2, the biggest players on the pitch, but showing great pace. And here, it's an overthrow from Sarries at the beginning, you know, and Gloucester-Hartpury just capitalised. Tuilapototu gets away. I think it's Marley Packer that misses the tackle at the tail. Lottie Clapp makes a great tackle, but I mean, it's exactly what we wanted, end-to-end stuff.
On the pitch, you've just missed Saracens being awarded a penalty.
From the 15, please.
Closing in the line. Williams again with
Gloucester on the line, please.
The safe option. Was a bit of a wind whipping round Kingsholm at the start of the game. Appears to have died down, but we are right in the gods here because slightly different pitch side. One for May Campbell this time. Good arrows into the middle. Packer right off the top. Campbell, receiver from her. We saw those 2 brilliant scores from Packer and Breach against Harlequins last week. Those back inside balls. I'm sure Gloucester-Hartpury have done their defensive work just to make sure. Veerbass to Williams. McKenna at 12. Back inside looking for Packer. There's
Scrum advantage only.
Hand in there from Muir. Advantage on the play.
Scrum advantage White.
Here's Carson, the Canadian, one of 4 replacements for Saracens.
Scrum advantage
Williams,
over.
this is good setup at the moment, and then Georgia Evans carrying hard the Welsh flanker. That's the 22 for
New
Sarries.
tractor in there.
So
Flat,
helping it on.
flat.
Campbell to the line, so busy around
Tackle
the park.
move.
The Sarries number 2.
Advantage.
Not
Advantage not rolling.
away. So free play for Saracens. Casolo onto Ellis, looking to free a hand. Carson so
5 not
nearly.
rolling away.
Would have been an interesting trundle towards the line then, but
5 hands
Saracens
on the
back
wrong
for the
side.
penalty.
Not rolling away.
Yeah, and Sarries have come with intent to play. You know, they're moving the ball well. There's some lovely little offloads, and we saw in this phase here, she just gets that just before contact, that little tip, and then we get next one, hands get free, and for me that's causing Gloucester-Hartpury some problems in defence.
It's been a bright start from both sides. Both coaches will be encouraged by some of their play. You can actually spot on the pitches you're viewing to the left-hand side. Seanlin is actually in the main stand with the dead centre of the pitch, taking an aerial view as much as he can. Some young fans enjoying their afternoon. Great afternoon for rugby, of course, out in Rome and Cardiff later on. Here is the Sarries driving maul, such a weapon for them this season. No team is better from a driving maul in this league, and they're showing it well at the moment.
Collapse by 7.
Cherry and White's unable to deal with it, so
sorry,
Saracens have a free play as Poppy Cleal
that's my fault. She's running to me.
runs into
my
the
fault.
referee.
No advantage.
He acknowledges
7
his
collapse.
positioning. We go back for the penalty.
My fault. I got in the way there. Apologies.
There it is though, Sarries driving maul. We knew this game was going to be a pack battle, and Sarries have been so dominant with it. I think 3/4 of their tries this season have come from that drive and maul, and good early setup, and Gloucester have to be illegal to try and stop it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Sarries into the corner, 5 metres away, looking for the first points of the game. McMillan the target again, didn't have to be thrown up too high there.
Played away.
Forwards. Packer unhappy with the setup, so throws it out. McKenna
Tackle!
playing in this inside centre role over the past few weeks and enjoying a stint as the second receiver. Now Sarries go to their phases. The pod set up. Packer at the forefront of it. Vivas, that's much quicker. Campbell in. Well set, the defensive line. Good counter ruck as well initially. Evans around the fringes. Slower ball for the champions. Sarah Beckett there, just rolling Poppy Cleal. Vivas, Williams, Clapp. Well judged by the Gloucester-Hartpury fence. It drifted up well there. There's still work to do here. This driving maul has a bit behind it. Mohan, hands on the ball, holding it up. And well, she's assisting tries, she's scoring tries, and she's holding up driving mauls.
Who would have thought? Not something that we always see in Mohan's game, is it? One of the smaller players on the park. For me, Sarries' attack there, just a little bit lateral, wasn't it?
Okay, let's fill these scrums,
start
please.
here. Ella Virus never got real quick ball. It's a decent carry by May Campbell, but because Gloucester are putting double hits in, they're just not allowing the momentum that Sarries are used to. And then ball gets slowed down. It's a decent counter ruck there, and Gloucester get organised again. And I think that's going to be something that Sarries are going to have to work out, is how they make this ball quick, because when it's quick, they really do get on top of Gloucester.
It's a feature of their play against Harlequins last week, the speed at the ruck. Just so far, this Gloucester-Hartpury defence has just got a hand on the ball, just slowed it down for that half a second, which is stopping the speed of players.
Time on, scrum.
Muir again with a couple of
unsuccessful maul, Gloucester scrum.
running repairs.
Stability. Stability.
Let's go, guys.
So we're approaching the 8-minute mark of the game. Scrum.
Crouch!
5 or 6 metres
Bind!
away from the Gloucester-Hartpury try line.
Stay high! Stay high!
Good initially from Gloucester-Hartpury. Beckett fancies a dart down the blind side. Hunt looking for runners. One of those Welsh flanker. Bethan Lewis. Here is Jess Breach, that brilliant try last week. Still adjusting to this full-back role at Sarries, the former Harlequin, of course. Williams over the top, and she's judged that very, very well. Excellent play from the Saracens fly half, just nudging her team back into the corner.
Yeah, we talked about it again, about whether Flo Williams would fill the shoes of Zoe Harrison, but her touches there have been outstanding in that opening 10 minutes. You know, little tips, great kick, pick space, and it just keeps piling the pressure on Gloucester-Hartpury, which is in this game where it's not going to be a massive score. These small margins are going to be huge.
Connie Powell has that Red Roses effort in the World Cup behind Amy Cockayne and Lark Davis, finds Monaghan. And that's a good initial shove. The home fans enjoying the power of that driving ball initially, but Sarries responding. Mohan assessing her options. Boot to ball. Decent enough touch finder. Gloucester-Hartpury out of their 22. This is all tight and frantic, still 0-0 as you approach 10 minutes. It's all still feel of just kind of working each other out.
Yeah, it's got that sense of a really good game, hasn't it? A little bit of edge. You know, you look at the territory, Saracens have had 66% of the territory, and I think they'll probably be disappointed that they've had 3 or 4 entries and not any scores yet, because again, as we talked about, this game is not going to be a huge margin. It's going to be them final.
McMillan off the top, down the blind side is where Marley Packer's heading. Mohan trying to drag her out. 2 good friends competing. The heat of battle at the moment. Neve Jones, the flanker, going in low on Ellis. Williams, that's a lovely tip off again. Cleo, the no-numbered shirt this afternoon, furious at the breakdown, and Gloucester-Hartpury counter-rucking. There's space down the blind side, which they've spotted. Beckett, Lewis to Lund, steps inside the winger. Great work, good line. Now looking for options, just slightly isolated. The hack forward by Muir. The penalty coming Saracens' way. It's at the moment those half breaks and just maybe the decisions once you're in behind are not quite clicking.
Red foot, but then she plays it on the ground.
And I think sometimes when you haven't had a lot of ball, those are these just start to force things. You think if you're Rachel Lund there, we just want her to keep a hold of the ball. We want Gloucester want to exit. They want to get a bit of territory, but goes for the big risky pass, and it's Gloucester are back in their 22 again.
Gloucester.
Certainly in terms of territory, Saracens very much on top. We see the turnover here, getting over the ball, and it's great work from Gloucester-Hartpury.
Great technique, you know, nice and low, hands straight on the ball, not past the ball, but a bit slow support from Saracens. I'm sure coaches will be annoyed with that.
Monaghan's leap at the back, just putting off Saracens there. And the home side in possession of the ball.
Lost forward. No, relax, be careful. Be careful.
Just eager to get her hands on the ball. The play's not going to go any quicker, but Mohan just wants her hands on that ball.
Mohan, Poppy Cleo, Marley Packer, all in that mix, as you would expect. Yeah, I mean, we can hear her up here constantly in the referee's ear, and yeah, it's one of the strengths of our game as long as you're on her team.
As the ball came out, she lost her bind.
No tackle podcast from BBC Gloucester this week. I was listening on the way down, and Mo having a chat to Marley Packer on a Zoom call, hosted here at Kingsholm. It all seemed friendly enough, and Marley trying to make out that Gloucester-Hartpury were the team to chase because they're the league leaders, and Mo putting the pressure back on Saracens, saying, well, you're the champions, we're chasing you.
Yeah, but I mean, that record of 12 wins is going to be huge, isn't it? Sarries currently host it, and Gloucester will be after it.
That scrum heading backwards from Gloucester-Hartpury, but Mohan comes away with it, and there's some numbers here on the far side, just dropped in the middle. And well, they might have gone backwards, but there was at one point a 4-on-2 on the far side, just didn't quite have the execution.
Not at all. I think if Hannah Jones had taken that, Gloucester-Hartpury were away. Like you say, it was a good scrum. Gloucester got ball away. Here, you know, it looks like Saracens is going to get ascendancy. Great work from Beckett, but it's just a width that Gloucester are paying on there. That ball goes to hand, 3-on-2 on the edge, and if they're not line breaking, they're certainly taking a lot of metres out of Saracens there.
Lisa Newman, I'm sure, on the outside, gutted she didn't get some open space to run into. Saracens packing down, deep inside the 22. All the backs lined up to the right-hand side. In from Vivas, Packer, back round comes the scrum half. Clapp is the dummy runner. Mohan coming backwards on the defensive line, very nearly gifting it to her side. Good double hit again. It's been a feature of Gloucester-Hartpury's defence so far this time. Tatiana Hurd leading the charge. Packer thought about the inside ball to Cleal. Now Evans, the Sarries back row, all involved there in that past 15 seconds. Williams to the dancing feet of Sydney Gregson. This time though, Gloucester-Hartpury's defence on the ball, over the ball. And Niamh Jones is the one that stopped that from coming out.
And she's been phenomenal at that all season. Probably the reason why Seanan's got her in his side today. You know, generally a hooker is playing in the back row today, but I think it will be because of her. She's got her attack and breakdowns, her defensive breakdowns, and her turnover. Her work rate for Gloucester is by far one of the top performers out there.
Saracens.
Her 7th turnover of the season. Niamh Jones.
Thank you.
Tackle rate 99%. So far this season for the blind side. What an option to have the hooker come flanker. 5 for Powell to aim for. Monaghan the main target so far. She is again the former Wasps lock. Around the fringes goes Powell. That's a encouraging drive from the hooker, and then Mo Hunt spotting a bit of space. Here comes Newman under pressure. Is Clapp, and Newman's done really well. However, holding on is the call from the referee. Just half a second too much, according to Anthony Woodthorpe.
Oh, that is harsh, isn't it? Even from here. But what a lovely kick! A great identification of space by Mo Hunt there. Just well weighted, just dropped in behind. Look at it here. Sits up so lovely, and Lottie Clapp is no slouch. Just get a bit disconnected from her support though.
Here is Mia Venner on the return kick for Gloucester-Hartpury, in a bit of space. Hurd, Lund outside, goes for the big hand off the Red Roses centre. Hunt, quick ball. Jones now with the carry forward.
Advantage, slow rolling.
Good momentum behind this attack from Gloucester-Hartpury. Mo Hunt
rolling,
the penalty.
You want the ball. You're 12 on the wrong
Gets
side.
the penalty. So often, you remember those COVID seasons when Mo Hunt, the tap and goes were a feature of play, but knows her team need a bit of territory. They've actually,
but 12 was on the wrong side.
I think that's be the first time if Claky George nudges this into the 22, which she does. This is far forward of the league leaders have been so far in this game.
Yeah, and all just from a mixed touch and a penalty, isn't it? It just shows how dangerous Gloucester-Hartpury are when that ball doesn't go out. You know, they've moved it well, and now it's gone from 22 to 22.
Connie Powell just checking the call with Maud Muir. Line out actually only at below 80% for Gloucester-Hartpury coming into this one. It's not been the cleanest of set pieces, but Monaghan so far is orchestrating this line out well, and she's taking it well.
Don't change, pop it!
Here comes the driving ball.
That's red to floor this side.
Coming
Broken
forward,
away at
all
the front.
slightly fragmented at the moment, but they're now
Entry 2.
within 5 metres and a penalty advantage.
Entry
Hunt
2.
Under pressure from Packer. All a bit fragmented there. Another penalty, pressure building on Sarries. Mo Hunt goes quickly to the blind side, looking for Beckett. Very close.
Leon.
Clever play from the 9 and the 8. Monaghan now. Hard meters from the second row. Hunt, Muir, carrying it up hard. This is close as the Cherry and Whites have been. Hunt now looking to spread the play. George, Jones comes back inside. There were options out. Still with possession.
Tackle Saracens!
Mo Hunt to Lewis. Under the arm. Brings in a few defenders. Quicken out from Hunt. To Pilotu with the carry. Still 5 metres away. Gloucester-Hartpury. Left and right. Hunt scans. Looking for Powell. Big hits in there as well. The Saracens defence at the moment fronting up.
Back foot there.
In comes
She's from the back foot there.
Just got the clean pass from Hunt. Gathered by those women in white this week in those scraps. Doing really well to defend. Credit Saracens there, because all sorts of pressure from the Cherry and Whites. And as Williams kick, well, it's not going to hit touch, so still some work to do. Venner. Then penalty turnover coming to Saracens, and the celebrations from McKenna, Gregson and Cleal. One or two arms on the side, big exhales as well. That was a huge defensive effort from Sarries.
It really was, and for all intents and purposes, you thought Gloucester-Hartpury were in there, you know. I think for me, maybe took the wrong option a couple of phases earlier. There was so much space in those wide channels. Both attack and defence are so narrow between those two 15s. So I think whether the wind down there is a bit blowier than it is up here is maybe impacting that.
So
but
the difference is
there is space out wide.
She found in, the ball's clearly lifted, she can grab you at that point. Thank you.
Still looking for the first points of the game. We expected it to be tight, we expected it to be close, a real test match feel given the quality on show. And that has been the case so far. Vivas to Williams standing deeper. Cleal is the crash ball centre. Gregson breaks the first tackle, looking for Packer. Recovery defenders coming across. Williams looking as quickly as possible to ship it out wide, but not quite the accuracy on the pass there.
Ball's lifted a long time.
McMillan, the
stripped in the air but lost
Scottish
forward.
lock.
White scrum advantage.
Summer signing. Settled into
Knock
life
on advantage.
in North London. Beckett and Packer, the two number 8s, and Muir with the big hits. Some of the defensive shots so far have been huge. There'll be some sore bodies waking up on Sunday morning. Campbell then going high as Lewis rode the tackle. Vivas, Williams just trying to tip the ball on, but the shirts outside are not quite on the same wavelength.
No, but I mean, there's some great exhibition of rugby of what we wanted. We wanted, like you say, this test match feel, and we are certainly getting it.
No, straight forward, knock on.
So great line by Cindy Gregson there from a Poppy Cleal tip, isn't it?
4 rips out the tackle, 4 rips out their foot, just a knock on advantage.
And this is some of the big tackles that we have been talking
Yeah,
about.
time off, send the waters on.
This is the one from Maud Muir, isn't it? She's had her lined up. I'm not sure Marley Packer wanted to pass the one before, and then Maud Muir is the recipient of that next big hit.
Some running repairs for both sides. Casolo there in shot. Maud Muir again just getting a bit of treatment as well.
I understand your frustration at the two difference.
I'm sure you can hear again Natasha Hunt just checking with the referee about maybe some of the pictures that he is seeing and she perhaps isn't.
What is really interesting, and he's talking to Mo about it now, is about this lift and about the pace in which he's seeing it, and I think it's very different with the referee and the quality of referees that are now in the women's game. It's the timing, because he's saying as soon as that ball is off the floor, that the ball is out, and in Mo's mind she wants that extra step. So it's fascinating. He's given the same communication to both 9, so it's going to be who can adapt the quickest to this.
Sure, she's gone back to the time where Marley leaned over and didn't let her have that clean pass is what she's not happy with.
Numbers!
Time back on. Connie Powell with the ball in 2 hands, and the 22-year-old. Third start of the season for her, with these hooker options that they've got with Niamh Jones and Kelsey Jones, and Hannah Jones as well. The 3 Joneses on the pitch for Gloucester-Hartpury. On the pitch, sorry, Kelsey Jones could be on later. 3 in the matchday squad. Vivas to Cleal and Packer. How many times over the course of the season do you say Packer to Cleal or Cleal to Packer? Campbell now, top carrier in the Saracens team. Got through a hell of a lot of work already in the opening half of this first half. Lottie Clapp pumping the legs as she hits contact. Ellis,
backwards.
that's gone behind. Casolo, that's a clever offload. Campbell, McMillan, Packer lined up again, Hurd with the hit. Brilliantly timed from the inside centre. Saracens still with the play. Here's Corinne Grant. 5 and 5 coming into this for the winger. Clear, that's an excellent line from out to in.
Don't hold her in.
Takes the champions to the 22. Campbell helping it on. These small tip-offs, these little pods that Saracens have got beginning to build play. Manola Plass from Flo Williams there. Gregson coming onto it. And just trying to compete in the breakdown, just too eager was Lewis and Tuipulotu as they come away.
What's interesting about the way Saracens are playing is because they're playing these little short tips at the line, it's really stopping Gloucester's double hits. you see this one here, they're just moving the ball, the defence doesn't have time to come. It's a great shot, I mean, from Tatiana Hurd, and she's come out to in, but in their forward interlinking place, we talk about Marley and Poppy, the little tips are just keeping the ball moving and not allowing Gloucester to come and double shot.
Well, in a tight and frantic game, points so far at a premium. So Flo Williams, dead centre of the pitch, centimetres away from the back of the 22, is going to attempt to get the scoreboard ticking.
It's a really big confidence kick, this one.
One you'd nail in practice. In a game, Flo Williams, clean as you like, shot that very confidently. And Saracens, well, they've had more possession, they've had more territory, and they now have the lead. Gloucester-Hartpury 0, Saracens 3.
And I mean, it's again, you just see the difference in the intensity Gloucester want to get off the line. That time probably a little bit too eager, it's a bit late, but it's just trying to stop the momentum of Saracens.
League leaders have certainly competed. Find themselves behind. Lakey George with an excellent restart. However, the knock-on came from a cherry and white hand, and Saracens with the put into the scrum. For regular followers of the Premier 15s, this one of the games of the season last year, which we did broadcast. Saracens raced into a 14-0 lead in the first half. Gloucester-Hartpury came back, were leading 21-14. Late Saracens try from Marley Packer and Zoe Harrison, knocking over a penalty with the last play of the game. Was a 24-21 win. So far, it looks as if it's going to be as tight as that. We could, though, do with a couple of tries to really get us going. Mo Hunt there, that's really clever defensive play, just blocking off the pass from Viv.
Tackle needs the floor!
Credit to the Sarries number 9, eventually getting away. Solo, that's clever play out the tackle.
Stripped.
Ripped in the contact from Tatiana Hurd. Brilliant work from the inside centre. What if Gloucester-Hartpury got on this turnover? Hunt, quick to play the ball. Lakey George, lined up and dumped by Poppy Cleal. Through come the Saracens defence. Knocking it on in there. Encouragement and quickness, trying to get hold of it. But this topsy-turvy game, Katie, the hits coming in, the rip from Tatiana Hurd, and that defensive effort from Poppy Cleal, this is huge.
The intent for the contact is absolutely massive, isn't it? You know, there's about 5 or 6 different players we can name here that are putting their bodies on the line. Poppy Cleal in that instance absolutely gets a big shot on it, but for me, it's the intent to get back on your feet and then go get the ball. Yes, it was knocked on, but it's the intent that Saracens are here to play.
Both teams right up for this one, just what you want to see in the Allianz Premier 15s. I think definitely still a few scars from a Saracens point of view. That 53-second loss at the Stonex, where they were taken apart by Sean Inside that day without any of their World Cup players, all back at the moment. As Hurd fires that one out, great pass, and then Neiman just unable to take it. A couple of times we've seen that in those wider channels. Gloucester-Hartpury, just their simple passing game, just not quite clicking so far.
It's not, and it's the first time we've seen it. I mean, up here you can see the pitch. You've got this lovely wide view, and there is a lot of space on the edges because the defenders want to get off the line. They want to come and hit people, and that's the first time we've seen Gloucester exploit it. For me, who just checks the pass, doesn't it? Just gets it on her shoulder a little bit. But if it was caught, there is a lot of space, and it's putting Jess Preach at fullback under quite a bit of pressure to cover all that backfield space.
Apart from that win earlier on the season in round 4, Gloucester-Hartpury never beaten Saracens in the Premier 15s. The champions, well, they have an impressive record over most teams, but really were a bogey side for the Cherry and Whites for quite a while. That's an excellent scrum from Gloucester-Hartpury. That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. They got the momentum, and then you could see the back 5 just push their legs, power their legs, and they've earned themselves a penalty.
Yeah, that's when, as a winger, you are running up and you are patting the back of your front row in that situation because they've just bailed you out of a bit of a hole in analysis on Monday evening.
Instead of looking backwards, Claykie George
Sarries on the line.
looking
Sarries
forwards.
is the line.
Not too much distance on that kick, but still a decent attacking platform. Monaghan again. Immediately the driving maul is set. Connie Powell coming round, trying to get her hands on the ball. Georgia Evans comes off an offside position.
No, she's come away.
Good momentum
Don't change, Poppy.
at the moment. Poppy Cleal being a nuisance in the middle. Mo Hunt trying to orchestrate this forward effort. Just crumbling at the moment. Has that ball gone to ground? It has not. Saracens will get the foot into the scrum, and you could just see hands and bodies and a whole number of players just legally staying in the right position. And again, credit Sarri's defence.
Couldn't think of anything worse,
Yeah.
if I'm genuinely honest. Yeah, I mean, I've got not a lot to add to that, if I'm honest, Nathan. Yeah, it was great D by Sarries, wasn't it?
Let's build.
The fly half analysis from Katie Daly-McLean, always welcome at driving ball time. Well, we will have a scrum. You can analyse the scrum in a second, Katie, as well. A bit more exciting than driving mauls, perhaps.
My second favourite thing. That possession stat is huge, though, especially if you take the context of the score. 75% possession and only 3 points. And I think whether there is a bit of wind down there and it looks like it's going across rather than up and down, that's going to be huge in the second half.
Mo Hunt with a big grin on her face as we pat down for this scrum. You imagine 1 or 2 verbals from 1 or 2 players being exchanged, and friends as well that are off the pitch. 1 or 2, I think, perhaps. Which is why Mo Hunt is enjoying her chat and maybe having a word with the assistant of some of the words that are happening on the pitch. So we look at the territory there as well. Even bigger than possession.
It's huge, isn't it? And I think that's a testament to Gloucester-Hartpury's defence, but I think Alex Osterbury will be probably not concerned, but probably frustrated at having that much territory and that much possession and only having 3 points on the board after 28 minutes.
I think because some of the defensive effort from Gloucester-Hartpury hasn't felt as one-sided as that, but the stats don't lie.
Stay high!
This time Saracens locking themselves out. Much better from them as Mo Hunt came round, just reading the play. Sniping around and getting in the rear view mirror of everything trying to Saracens do there completely legally. Disrupting the play. Sarri's still with possession.
Two, clearly on.
Flo Williams penalty. The difference between the 2 sides.
Hold in front, Sarries.
Block from Mo Hunt. Flo Williams is smashed, is at the try line. Gloucester-Hartpury sniffing the ball, taken over. And we just spoke about her kind of sniping around in the defensive effort. Mo Hunt leading the charge again.
Yeah, and we're not going to potentially watch that scrum, we're going to watch the charge down here. But it's just intent, isn't it? There's 3 Gloucester-Hartpury players in shot there, and then followed up by a great shot, I think, by Bethan Lewis there. And Flo Williams has no other decision but to go back over our own try line. And Gloucester scrum, it is the worst thing as a fly half when you see players flying, especially on the side you want to kick to. And what shot by Bethan Lewis. I mean, she will have felt that. But if we just talk about Mo Hunt a little bit, what she's doing really well is she's coming around the other side of the scrum, and you talked about picking the pocket, and that's exactly what she's doing. She's blindsiding the carriers, so they think they're going to hit their teammate when she's sitting in that pocket, and it's doing your homework well, isn't it?
One of the standout performers in the league, Mo Hunt. Opta did a whole raft of stats just on her season so far a couple of weeks ago. Said her mum was screenshotting it to her, but now the Gloucester-Hartpury forwards going forward. Sarah Beckett is there. The ball is down, but we're going to go under the sticks for a penalty try. The forward effort, the power of the cherry and whites at Kingsholm. First try of the game. Sarah Beckett, Poppy Cleal, a couple of absence off the ball. But first try, and that all about the power of Gloucester-Hartpury.
It was good from a very dominant scrum. You know, Gloucester-Hartpury scrum has been operating at nearly 90%, and once they get the shove on, they win that initial hit. You see how they compress Sarries, and then once they've got that, they'll just keep it in. And it's good control from Sarah Beckett at the end, because that ball is moving pretty fast in front of her. Good control at the end. It gets stuck, and referee has an easy decision, but to go under the posts.
Look for a second of this. Sarah Beckett was going to control it all the way in, but Penalty tries, the call.
Off feet, off
Well
feet.
set, heading into the closing stages of this first half. We spoke about that territory, that possession from Saracens. As they look at the scoreboard now, they'll be even more frustrated.
Front. Wingers run them on.
George trying to find a bit of space towards Jess Breach. Haven't really seen too much of the Saracens back three with ball in hand so far. It's all been tight in these
Don't play the 9.
middle efforts. Williams to Clapp to
That's off
Gregson, was
Fred.
read by
That's off
Lund.
Fred. All backwards.
Ball's
That
gone
one's
backwards and
forward.
forwards. The referee's going to do better than me here to work out who knocked that on, because it seemed to go forward about 4 times there.
Offside.
Yeah,
Offside,
and
it's
again,
open play.
Sarri's
I just
just
want
gone a little bit too lateral for me on this touch grab.
White, so red scrum. Can you build the scrum, please, mate?
Again, we're looking at this scrum. I don't think there's any yellow card from it, but Gloucester just come right through the middle of Sarri. Sarri's almost peel away. Really easy decision, I think, to go under the post. I say it's a fly half.
I'm trying to, but I'm
There's your fly half scrum analysis.
Scrum before that, we didn't have stability, that's why it failed.
Another scrum here. Lund just staying on the blind side for a second.
Crouch!
Everyone else lined up to the right.
Bind! Set!
Second time at Kingsholm this season for Gloucester-Hartpury. Big win over Sale in their other appearance. Looking to try and play her as much as possible as Hurd launches one out. Excellent ball, just breaking the line. Venner.
That!
Newman outsider, stepping inside, good footwork. Still going, brilliant! Dummy, racing away! Gloucester-Hartpury for the corner. Lisa Newman with a brilliant individual score. A second try. It's actually Sophie Bridger, the late replacement, on for Newman. And Bridger, well, she scored brilliantly against Saracens in round 4, and she's done brilliantly again there.
What a great try that is. You know, we've been waiting for this game to come to life. It's been to-ing and fro in 22, but again, it's the ball moved wide. Great running straight, drips a little bit. Mia Werner gets Lottie Clapp. She gets that shoulder turned. I thought she should have given it a little bit earlier, but it's that step up her right foot. Beats Lottie Clapp, beats Sarah McKenna. Bit of a nice little dummy as well, isn't it? What a try from Sophie Bridger.
I don't know if you could just hear the "oh" from the Kingsholm crowd. They enjoyed the dummy as well, being replayed on the big screen here.
Confidence, isn't it? The confidence of when girls are going well, and like we said, she scored some amazing tries as the season's built, but just to be, I'm going to have a go. And there are some seasons internationals out there that she made look a little bit silly.
Brilliant individual score from Sophie Bridger, late replacement for Lisa Newman, which is why the slight misdirection in terms of name, out in 14. Just been told Lizzie Goulden has come onto the bench for Bridger, but a product of the Hartpury College, Hartpury University, playing Bucks rugby the past couple of years, but now in the top tier of the Premier 15s, really standing out. Great score from her. Should have enjoyed that one. That dummy just opening it up and racing away.
Working through transitions, common side shuffle.
So from struggling for territory and possession, there's a couple of juggles from Tatiana Hurd. Regathers it, Gloucester-Hartpury heading towards the first 40 minutes with a 12-3 lead. George deep, that one was going to turn Jess Breach. Penalty coming, not rolling away in the tackle. And these last couple of minutes, just imagine Gloucester-Hartpury, they can just take the sting out of this game now. They've maybe been on their back foot for quite a lot in terms of territory and possessions, we keep mentioning, but now this is their game to control.
It really is, and I think they're doing a very good job. You know, they're exiting very well. Lecky George at the back has all the time in the world to get that kick away. This time we come back to the penalty, and I think Gloucester-Hartpury would be really sensible just to probably, like you say, take a little bit of pace out of this, walk into this line out, go into half-time with a 12-3 lead is huge, given, like you said, the context of possession and territory.
They Maybe just 1 or 2 more seconds as we check the calls. Connie Powell, 5 players to aim for again. Monaghan, the target, but we right behind that in our commentary position, not straight. Maybe not the worst thing for the Cherry and Whites, just eats a bit more time up as we pack down to the scrum.
I mean, we're looking at we've got the stats in front of us. Looking at this now, Gloucester have made 92 tackles in comparison to Saracens 34, but lead 12-3. It is the beauty of rugby, isn't it? Right there.
Coach killers, those sort of stats, I think, aren't the case. Saracens looking to play off the top, trying to work something here and finish this first half on a high, but Tatiana Hurd again in contact, again ripping the ball. She's been brilliant. The Gloucester-Hartpury number 12.
Yes.
No number 9, so Monaghan comes and plays the ball.
Tackle now!
Mo Hunt back on her feet. Lakey George just trying to step inside and play the ball.
So Saracens scrum.
And as Venner attempted to keep
Lost
it in.
forward, then out by White, so no advantage.
Have the
scrum.
knock on from Gloucester-Hartpury, scrum down for Saracens. Thirbass just checking the call.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
The straightest lineup for this scrum packing down. Good shot there of the 2 packs going at it. Saracens getting the better of that exchange and also winning themselves a penalty from scrum time.
Clear, go forward.
Laura Delgado, the one punished on the tight head side. Tackle into the hoardings there. Sarah Beckett, who's been on it from minute 1. There's been a real feisty undercurrent to this side. The personal battles, the England internationals going head to head, not taking a step back. Campbell to Evans. The Sarries driving ball is well set. The Welsh flanker just presenting it well and working its way back to May Campbell. 16 tries in all competitions for the hooker this year, including the cup. And she's lurking at the back of this one as well. This is a brilliant forward effort. 15 metres or so to get to the edge of the 22.
Out the gun, out!
Sam Monaghan being sent on away.
4.
This is brilliant from Saracens forwards. The champions responding with some clinical, with some patient and impressive forward work. Poppy Cleal with that on the ball now.
4 entry.
Packer gets it under a right jumper. Still going forward. This is one of the best driving mauls you'll see. Now within 5 metres, Saracens. Another advantage on the play. Gloucester-Hartpury trying everything to stop it. Saracens going forward. Referee having a look.
No. You've collapsed it here. It's gone a very long way. It's a yellow card.
A yellow card for Natasha Hunt in the closing stages of the half. But that was what, a 35,
held up by a legal
40
player.
metre driving maul.
Yellow card.
Gloucester-Hartpury
on a very long distance.
will end the half with 14 players.
Your penalty is here. No, because that player was
with a
legal when
penalty.
she held it up, but 9 cynically collapsed it at this side, so that's a yellow card. Okay, so she's just gone to the bin. Your penalty on the 5 metre line. She was legal, so she managed to get it. No. I'm not going to discuss it. I'm just telling you the facts. Okay.
Anthony Woodthorpe making sure that Saracens know what is what. Yellow card confirmed for
just making sure that time was off.
Natasha Hunt.
When I gave the yellow card, by the way, there's still time off. Right? So the yellow card, the 10 minutes after started. Because 5 was legal onto the ball, she's the one who held it up, but 9 had collapsed it at long distances. Cynical, she goes to the bin, but it's not a penalty try because she legally held
Have
the ball.
another look as the ball held up there, the penalty given. I think all players, as well as Lottie Clapp there, just checking the call, but it will be a penalty on the 5 metre line.
Okay,
But
Gloucester, you ready?
Is
You're on the
worth
line. Saracens.
having another look at, perhaps in long form. if Saracens had scored that, got to be one of the longest driving mauls tries you've ever seen. The way it reset, the way it came back round. Sarri's at the moment looking for the quick tap play on the 5 metre. Campbell with the tap, Cleal, Evans, Packer coming back inside, looking for that inside play we've seen from Saracens so often this season.
Tackle 5!
With the player advantage, what can Saracens forwards do here?
No hands, Gloucester!
Gloucester-Hartpury with the defensive work right under the shadow of their posts. Another advantage for offside. How many times do we see Sarries sniping from here as Cleal rolls the tackle?
Still under
just short from her. Round to the fringes again. Delgado in there.
Tackle!
Bodies on the line, moment seized for Gloucester-Hartpury.
Yes.
Packer unable to get it cleanly there. Now stands over, goes towards the line, drives over the line. Marley Packer at her probing very best. A 6th try in the last 7 games for the Saracens co-captain, and with the player advantage, with the last play of the half, Saracens have their first try.
Yeah, after the kick, that's
great response from the champions. We see it again here from Marley. That patience, that experience that she has, rode the hit on the try line, then just extends out those legs, and that slides over. What a figure she is, the 33-year-old. Still such a important part of both Sarries and England. Flo Williams lining up the extra couple, which she knocks over. So after 40 minutes, it is all tight. It took until the last 10 minutes really for the play to really begin to build up and points start to be scored. But we might only be sat at 12-10, but it's been a really, really enthralling opening 40 minutes. Big hits have gone in. Some impressive attacking play. But the league leaders, who are 11 from 11 so far this season, Gloucester-Hartpury edging this one at the first half at Kingsholm. It is Gloucester-Hartpury 12, Saracens 10. And this is very finely poised heading into the second half. We'll be down with Ashley Wilmot and Katie Daly-McLean in just a second, getting some analysts, some analytical look at that first 40 minutes. Also got a special guest as well for you at half-time with Zoe Oldcroft going to try and join them. Before we do, just a reminder of what's coming up on the Premier 15's live streams. Later this afternoon, Exeter Chiefs women hosting for Lightning, that one at Sandy Park. Sandwiched in between a couple of men's Six Nations games, of course. Then next weekend there are 3 games on the Premier 15s. The big game, the one rearranged from around the Christmas time. Harlequins will be hosting Exeter in conjunction with the men's games. Then a BBC Sports available game, Loughborough Lightning against Bristol Bears, that one at Franklin's Gardens. And then on Sunday, your third offering, third broadcast from round 13 of the Premier 15s. We're at Six Ways as Worcester host struggling Wasps. We'll get some updates as well from the other games in the Premier 15s. Well, let's get a look at that first 40 minutes. Katie Daly-McLean is joined by Ashley Wilmot and a certain special guest. Let's head down to Ash.
Thanks, Nathan. Yes, we do have a special guest in Zoe Oldcroft. You're watching on the sidelines today. What do you make of that? Oh my God, I think I've lost my voice at the moment, but yeah, it's so, I think it's everything that we expected from this game. Like the physicality's there, like the competition is there. Yeah, it's really good so far. We knew Saracens were going to give you a run for their money today. I mean, it's close. It's 12-10, Gloucester-Hartpury. We knew it was going to be tight. Any surprises for you though, Katie?
No, not at all. I think, like you say, it was ferocious, wasn't it? We looked at some of them hits and we're standing up high. There is some serious collisions. When you guys were looking at Sarries of the week, what was the things that you were most focused on?
It was definitely like keeping those connections in our defence, so like nourishing out the line, because we know they've got those little tip games, flies out the back, those sort of things, and just like keeping our connections in D, and then just coming up with like little tiny things that are just going to make them work a little bit like harder. We knew the breakdown was going to be a massive thing, so we've been doing loads of stuff where we're just like making sure we're at the breakdown every single time to stop the likes of like Marley, Georgia, Poppy getting onto the ball, So those are the things we've been working on. I'll probably just give you a hug again, but I'm sorry.
Hopefully Sarries are watching.
I don't think they are, don't worry. I think they've got their heads very much in the game. And Mo Hunt, of course, she just got that yellow card, but she's been having a cracking game. In fact, she was one of the key parts of holding up Saracens driving ball. We've got a little clip of it here. I mean, she's obviously done her homework and she's ready to attack, as it were, or defend.
Yeah, I think it's something you don't necessarily associate with Mo, and obviously you've played alongside her a long time, but she defends a little bit wider in this system, and once, I think for me, Lottie Clapp's gone in a bit high, hasn't she, and once she's in that situation, mini but mighty Mo is in there.
Yeah, definitely. I think like for such a small person, she can always count on her to like do absolutely everything she can to stop those big players getting over. She does seem to just lead from the front, but it felt like for the first, 20 minutes or so, it was back and forth, feeling each other out, as it were. Yeah, definitely. It was like up one end and then down the other end. But I think that's what we exactly what we thought it was going to be. Yeah, exactly. We thought. Do you feel like when you're in these kind of games, Katie, it's tough just to kind of work out the other opposition's game plan?
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to blink first, do they? Nobody wants to make that error, and I think when you look at these two sides, so you have both yourself and Sarries have very dominant packs, and I think that's what we saw. We saw the packs almost going to work. Sarries had a couple of driving balls at the top, didn't necessarily convert, and then we come down here and you guys have the same, and I think this is what the beauty of the standard of the Prem is now, that actually we're talking about a game that is 12-10 with both sides having multiple chances.
It's those really small margins as well in games like these, which is why every penalty that each team are winning, it was kind of like they scored a try. So Saracens, when they got that penalty, in front of the post, Flo Williams stepped up, she got the first points on the board. Do you think that was the right way to go?
Yeah, and I think if you look at the context of the game, it comes from stuff that Zoe was talking about there about not flying out the line. Bethan Lewis probably goes a little bit early, doesn't she? She leaves a little bit of a space here and then get caught on the wrong side, goes for the jackal, referee isn't happy. But for me, I think we talked about Flo at the beginning of the show and about the shoes she had to fill in Zoe Harrison. And actually this is, as a kicker, it doesn't get much better than this. Straight in front, just outside the 22, she strikes it really well, but the confidence that gave her to continue playing the way she had was huge.
Like you say, we were talking about her pre-match, and this is her warming up ahead of the game. She's got some big boots to fill in, Zoe Harrison, and we were just mentioning it before we came live, Katie. Every kind of good kick that you get, it's a confidence builder, isn't it?
Yeah, and so we'll know this from as a forward and carrying that. Actually, the more your touches are positive, the better you feel. You almost grow into it. Our first touch, she creates a line break. She puts a lovely kick over the line, and obviously as a Gloucester fan, probably you aren't that happy about it. But as a 10, it is really nice when you get opportunity to build into a game, and I think she's going really, really well.
Yeah, she really is. And we've got this cracking clip of the charge down. Take a look at this.
Is this something that you guys work on, the charge down? Is that?
Yeah, definitely. Like from all positions as well, because obviously we know, Zoe, she is a really good kick as well. Like a lot of teams do use that kick, especially in this area, and we want to keep them down in this area as long as possible. So it's so important to put as much pressure on everything in this area as possible. So charging down kicks is definitely something we work on. And we're talking about that momentum. You charge down the kick, and then eventually we got our first try of the game, penalty try as it was. But what a huge effort from your team, Zoe. You must have been so relieved. Yeah, definitely. I was sat in front of Keris Hale and she said she thinks it should be try of the week. But I'm not sure it quite beats Bridges, but she was very happy with the forward pack there.
Yeah, as said by a front row.
Yeah, amazing stuff. And Sarah Beckett, it's great to see her back, isn't it? Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. The physicality she brings, her ball carrying, her defensive work, it's absolutely amazing. It's so good to have her here at Gloucester now. She's such a team player, and it's great to see her back on the pitch. Yeah, it really is. And the fun didn't stop there, because we had a second try. Great individual brilliance from Sophie Bridger, who was promoted last minute earlier before the game, wasn't she? So it's lovely for her to get over the line.
Yeah, and you know what it is? I think when you come in for somebody as well, she obviously was originally on the bench, gets promoted. For me, this is the first time Gloucester moved the ball wide. And the difference it did, we talked about Lottie Clapp, she gets turned, she's now then having to kind of back off and move away. And it's just a lovely bit of footwork, isn't it? But for me, it was that moment there. That dummy is absolutely phenomenal. When she did it, it sold me as well. And then just a pace to finish, and obviously a product of Gloucester-Hartpury's Buck side, isn't it? So to see her do it on the stage for you guys must be...
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Like, tries amazing. Like, she's usually playing 12, so she's usually like more of a distributor, but she definitely has that skill to use her footwork and move the ball well. Obviously, she puts it in two hands, one hand. Like, it's absolutely amazing, like moving those defenders around.
And for young kids watching, you talk about that she's played 12. That little bit of ball manipulation, the difference of rather than tucking it, getting it in two hands, getting it shown in the dummy, makes such a difference to creating space.
Yeah, the fans always like a little dummy, don't they? It keeps us on our toes. No, yes, she's going to go get it across the line. That's what we like to see. Now, the yellow card, we did mention it previously. Mo Hunt, should we be disappointed with that?
Yeah, I think she will. I think we're just seeing her on the way and talking to the ref a little bit about it. But like I said before, like she'll do anything she can to like stop those tries. So I think she just felt the need to get into there and stop that maul because it was really rumbling. So
yeah, we did see Mo having a few conversations with the ref, didn't we, Casey?
We did, and it's a massive part of Mo's game. It's who she is, isn't it? And I think you've just got to embrace it. I think these ones are interesting because somebody was probably always going to get a yellow card there. Ideally, as a 10, you probably don't want it to be your 9. That's going to be a huge, probably 10 minutes after the second half for Gloucester to work without their 9 and one of their captains. But yeah, and I think for Mo, it's just getting that balance, isn't it? She doesn't want to alienate a referee, but she wants to make sure that he's aware of the picture that she's seeing as well.
Yeah, Saracens will really want to capitalise on the fact that Mo's not on the pitch for the first part of the second half, definitely. But of course, Saracens, they fought back. It was 12-3 right until the dying moments, and then Marley Packer goes and does what she does best.
Yeah, she does, and it come from again more pressure, but I mean she's so dangerous, and you know yourself from that, how hard is it to stop her from that position?
Yeah, it's so difficult. Like we've been speaking about like the likes of Packer and Poppy like all week, like just being so aware of what they're capable of, and yeah, she can do stuff like that, which is incredible.
You know, there's been a little bit of should we say bickering between the forwards. It's kind of entertaining for the fans, but also, you know, you're playing with these players in the international space. You know, when you get down with them in the scrum, you know, you see, I don't know.
Do you bicker and scrum from there?
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm trying to say, Katie.
Not really, but I always think it's quite funny to like look back on like once you've had something on the pitch, because obviously it's all forgotten about afterwards. But it's just the competition of the game, and it's just a natural thing to happen. Like all emotions are like get risen, especially when it's so close in a game like this.
Zoe is also a very nice person. So
I've also never been in that position, so yeah, who knows?
You never rattle anyone. Let's take a look at the stats from the first half anyway, because I know they were catching your eye, Katie, weren't they? It doesn't really add up.
It doesn't. You know what it is? This for me is the beauty of when people talk about stats. We talked about possession, we talked about territory upstairs with Nathan, but Sarries had 75% of the possession, and I think they had 85% of the territory, but they've come into the game only 2 points behind. That for me is absolutely huge. You know, Gloucester-Hartpury had made something like 3 times more tackles, it's not up there, than Sarries.
So sorry Katie, after saying that, what do you think is going to be the conversations in the dressing room now? I mean, 75% possession Saracens has had.
Yeah, I think it'll just be about in the week we've said if we have the ball then they can't have the ball, if that makes sense. So I think it'll be a bit more about us keeping our possession, but as well like keeping that defensive effort up. Like the hits that some of the girls have been putting in has been absolutely like amazing.
It really has been a physical affair, hasn't it?
It has, and again, just painting some pictures that Sarries have got 183 running metres, so that, like you say, I think from Gloucester's point they're going to want the ball. You're going to want to have a hold of the ball a lot more, because actually what we do know is defence is really, really hard work. It is much more fun and probably easier, isn't it, to attack. So from Gloucester-Hartpury's perspective, they're going to want more of the ball in the second half, and for Sarries' perspective, they're going to want to convert them opportunities, because if you go in and if you're Alex Osterbury, you are going to be frustrated that with all that territory, all that possession, you are 2 points behind.
Pre-match, Katie, you brought in a fantastic stat where you were saying, was it Saracens scored most of their points in the first half, Gloucester-Hartpury in the second half?
Yeah.
Do you like the sound of that, Zoe?
As a Gloucester fan, you're going to be very happy about that.
What do you want to see from both these sides in the second half, Katie?
I think for me it's about conversion. I think Nathan mentioned upstairs about being quite topsy-turvy, and I think it has been. You know, its possession is constantly turned over. I think when teams are getting into 22s, they're going to have to start taking points, whether that's kicking for goal or whether that's going to that forward pack. But what we can't, I don't think either team want to do, is to not convert them opportunities, because we know it's going to go to the wire, and the team that take the most opportunities are going to be very simply the ones that win it.
It will definitely go down to the wire. Zoe, before we let you go, obviously it's fantastic to see your team here at Kingsholm playing. Have you thought about whether you get that home semi-final here, and then maybe if you had a final here in front of a home crowd, you know, was it good news this week?
I mean, it was definitely good news for us. I mean, there was a lot of uproar everywhere else, but it obviously means that other people think that we're going to be there. But no, we're just like doing like, I know it's so cliche, but each week we're just like making sure we get past that game, and then like as it comes closer, like maybe we will be able to start looking at it a little bit more. But I think it's amazing that it is here. Like, it's such a massive rugby town, and like the locals just love any sort of rugby game, and I think it'll definitely get filled. It's such great for Gloucester.
You can definitely tell that by the fans and how loud they are cheering you on today. It's really, really great to see. I mean, it's fantastic news. It's great to have you with us, but Zoe, we will let you go because I know I saw you writing a lot of notes. I feel like you've got the team talk ready to go and they're just about to come back out.
So you just passed it to the coach on the way. I was like, tell them all this.
Oh, thank you so much for your time. All the best to you. Katie, thank you for your time. You're going to be running off, and we'll head back to Nathan. Enjoy the second half.
Saracens just running out, but remind you can go watch some of the best of England's players. The Red Roses taking on Scotland, Italy and France in their home fixtures in Newcastle, Northampton and Twickenham Stadium. You can watch the Red Roses when the Women's Six Nations, of course, kicks off. Tickets available at englandrugby.com/tickets. Number of those players there. Two we'd expect to see. Zoe Harrison and Tatiana Hurt had a brilliant first half, as well as the smiling assassin of co-captain Marley Packer. Another try for her. That was just the 6th in 7 games for the Saracens co-captain. And now the noise at Kingsholm will let you know that the home side are about to come out. This narrow 12-10 lead. A penalty try from a scrum and Sophie Bridger going over. They will start this second half though, of course, without the inspirational captain Mo Hunt. She's got a few more minutes in the bin, probably 8 or 9 or so in fact, from that yellow card from stopping a driving maul. Claky George will kick deep, I'm sure, and try and just keep Saracens in their own half for the first few minutes until Gloucester-Hartpury return to their full complement of 15. Off and running in the second half into the 22. Ella Vivas takes the ball and spirals it into touch. Good exit from the Saracens scrum half.
Yes, please.
Expecting just over 1,000 here at Kingsholm. What is a second home game of the season for Gloucester-Hartpury. Of course, usually play at the Outpass Arena, the Hartpury College and University Complex, where the men's championship side, Hartpury, as well as the university side, also play their games. Mo Hunt, keep mentioning a name, on the bench, but also coaches that university side, who won the Bucks Championship this year, beating Edinburgh recently. That part of the pathway here in the West Country of what Sean Lynn's side are trying to do. Beckett with her hands on the ball for the first time in this second half. Venner, who looks as if she's acting scrum half. Looking deep now for George. Grant is back there and read it well. Off and running the Scotland back three player. Vivas. Ellis first receiver, Casolo second, and that double tackle, that regular feature of Gloucester-Hartpury in that first half, straight to the fore at the second. Packer with the distribution, great hands from Cleo. Gregson with some space to run into now, checks back inside. Jones and Jones, Neve and Hannah with a double tackle. Vivas just waited a second for Delgado to almost get in the way of the ball and earn her side a penalty. Clever play from the number 9, and then Jess Breach with the snipe, the back of the rush. Breach changes hands, stunning from Jess Breach. A brilliant score last week, and maybe an even better one this week. Sniping from the back of the ruck, Jess Breach, half an opportunity, and so many times we see her go over. What a signing she's been since joining from Saracens. That her 6th try in Sarries colours.
Not something you normally see from Jess Breach either, which is lovely, isn't it? But again, real positive carry there. Saracens get over the gain line, just a little poaching, picks out from a 9, and then great strength, shrugs off 2 tacklers. But for me, it was just the way she's just floating behind, she's just watching it happen and spotted a gap.
She really seems to have developed a game. She's so often the finisher out wide. We see the pace, the back in sideline last week, and just that ability, even just the thought process. I think I'm going to go to the back of this ruck and have a go.
Definitely. I think as wingers, sometimes you get caught. I say like I was a winger, but wingers get caught staying in their tram tracks in their 15 or the 5 metre channel, and Jess has come looking for work there, and she's got her rewards.
Flo Williams not quite on target. I can tell you my commentary notes are beginning to flutter around, so the wind is back up, but it's the strength from the breach and the change of the ball as well from right to left, just in case that tackle came in. It's finishing of the highest order. Saracens regain the lead for the first time since Flo Williams' early penalty. Really taking advantage of this extra player. 2 tries now. What have the Cherry and Whites got in response? Lund carrying it high into Gregson, rode the tackle well. Monaghan, the double hit on her this time. Casolo and Ellis in there. Packer told to release, which she does. Benner, George, Hurd, lined up by Clapp. The pressure from the Sarries co-captain forcing the knock-on. And Saracens will have the put into the scrum. You just sense there's a bit of an edge about Sarries. They're just really fancying this one at the moment. Yeah, the intensity change is huge from Saracens, isn't it? A really big first 4 minutes of this second half, especially when we know that this isn't generally when Sarries score their most tries. We know they're more of a first half, they come out well. So very interesting that the intensity, and I do wonder whether Alex Osterbury has sent a bit of a rocket in the changing rooms at half time. Time off here as Jess Breach, no sorry, Sydney Gregson is having some tape wrapped around her head at the moment. Mo Hunt just currently trying to stay warm. She's wrapped up in some tracksuit bottoms and a jumper. Some of the younger fans out in the King's Home enjoying maybe after what a grin that is. Saying hello to anybody watching at home. Gloucester-Hartpury trailing, but she's enjoying her afternoon. There is Mo Hunt just keeping warm. And it's such a hard time to get a yellow just before half time, because not only do you have that 10 minutes, you also have that 15-minute break. So it'll be 25 minutes that Mo's been off the pitch now, and will start to have to basically re-warm up again. She's currently going through some passing drills on the sideline. Still 3 and a bit minutes to go until she can return to the fray. Those that you don't follow the Premier 15's channels, there was a really interesting feature which had some Mo Hunt in, but all about Maud Muir and the living situation in Gloucester-Hartpury. So Maud Muir, Lizzie Goulden and Sam Monaghan, they all live in a house together, and a few doors down it's Mo, Tatiana Hurd and Bethan Lewis. Rugby gnaws off in those households. Gregson, head stitched back up, straight on the crash ball. McMillan Big handoff from the second row. Monaghan trying to rip it from her. Williams did well to take that. Campbell out there lurking in that almost 13 channel. Real ball of energy when she gets her hands on it, May Campbell. Poppy Clear back into the second row. Played a number of times there last season, has been in the back row a lot this time around, but the absence of Fee McIntosh sending her into the row. Advantage for Gloucester-Hartpury, but slow at the moment. Here's Delgado, the Spanish prop. Venner, Hurd, looking for Bridge on the outside. Clapp picks her pocket.
Under pressure, going backwards.
Saw the try line gaping there. Good cover in the end, but we'll go back for the cherry and white advantage.
I think Gloucester probably just need to take a breath in this situation, don't they? They're a player down, 3 points down. They don't need to do anything risky. Almost just ride out the rest of this yellow card, get back up to 15, and then you can start to build your way back into the second half. For me, they look like they've just started to lost their way in, and like we touched on, Saracens have just got a little bit more intensity about them, a little bit more eagerness to get off the line, the double shots to really put Gloucester under pressure.
Bring you some other scores as we get them. Out this afternoon of Premier 15's action. Venner with the put into the scrum now as well. George onto Hurd. Great work from the inside centre, out to Lund. Great work from the winger now as well, that's the 22. Venner thought she saw a half gap, she does well to wriggle out of the challenge. This is better from the cherry and whites. But eventually the play is stopped. Little knock-on spotted on the floor.
Commentator's curse.
Time off. Sorry, 3 changes. Thank you.
Begin to get the changes. Alex Ellis, the first replacement. And Kelsey Clifford jogs on for her.
I thought Alex Ellis has been very good today. She has had a really solid 50 minutes. She's carried well and made some real inroads for Saracens.
Clifford straight into the action, the England under-20 prop. Spotted Cara Hope in there as well, a replacement on the loose head side. And Maud Muir's running repairs from the first half means she's off. That not pretty from either scrum, twisting and turning. Marley Packer has come away with it. Sarries just about holding on to possession. Next stoppage of play, Mo Hunt will be returning to the field. We'll have 15 on 15 for the final half an hour. Don't take your eyes off this one. Gloucester-Hartpury 12, Saracens 15. Hunt now. Sorry, not Hunt. She's coming back on in a second. That's Tatiana Hurd. Penalty, turnover, holding on to the ball. And we'll have a Saracens penalty.
Guess who that was? Marley Packer yet again. She's so instrumental for the good stuff that comes out of this Sarries side. We know we talk about her and Poppy Cleal in attack, but just the way she goes about her traditional sevens business, for me, is what makes her world class at the moment, at the form she's in.
Despite playing less games than quite a few people, Marley Packer with her World Cup commitments, leading the turnovers and those jackal steals in the league stats, as well as offloads as well. She's up there. She's just an all-round brilliant player for Saracens, and now flicking the ball off the floor as well. Cleal running up against Neve Jones, bumping her off, bumping off Powell. Great work from the Sarries lock. Macmillan, just some pace onto the ball from that scrum.
Good job.
McKenna, short to Gregson. Just tried to go on the support line round her. Casolo helping it on. McMillan, still Sarries, just these little pops out of contact, looking for that half break, that half yard that will go into space. McKenna boots it into Tuipulotu, then kindly fell back, still in possession. The women in white. Campbell bustles through one challenge, great work out of the tackle as well from McMillan. The phase play from Saracens, brilliant, and then Campbell again off the floor. He's had a storming game, the hooker. Vivas to Evans.
Tackle off the ball,
For the first time, Gloucester-Hartpury's defence just struggling to keep up. Williams to Gregson, steps around. Hunt looking to go the long way around is Gregson. Eventually brought down.
Under Ivanic, Saracens, tackle off the ball over there.
Clifford now, first big carry for her. Monaghan and Delgado. The welcoming party. Evans back inside to Packer, opening up the play, spinning out the tackle. Stunning! Utterly stunning from Marley Packer. What more can you say about the Saracens number 8, the back row forward, just at the top of her game, producing moments of stunning quality, and then add another one to the Marley Packer collection.
She is actually on fire, isn't she? You know, like you say, what more can you say about this girl? She literally is doing everything and dragging Sarries ahead. If you look at it here again, it's that inside tip, and you talked about before, Gloucester-Hartpury have spent a lot of time covering that, and that's the first time where they just haven't got that inside cover. Who was it this time? Just being beaten by that inside ball, and fair play to Marley. She rides the next tackle and just and almost falls over the line. But it's the work done off the ball for me. That identification, great attacking line from Georgia Evans. She takes it to the line and just drops Marley into the space.
Flo Williams knocking over the extras. A 7-point score from Saracens.
It's Kelsey Clifford that basically gets caught. She gets left at guard, and just the space opens up for her just coming on. So maybe just needs to get into the pace of the game.
From a couple of points down, now Saracens 10 points ahead. We spoke about at half-time Katie and Zoe Oldcroft. Maybe that possession and territory not showing on the scoreboard. But now Saracens turn it around. That's a high tackle from Lottie Clapp on Bridger. Monaghan fancies a bit of space there. Hunt. You can just immediately see the pace of the ball from Mo Hunt, just speeding up this Gloucester-Hartpury attack. George Jones. This is better from Gloucester-Hartpury. Venner to the far side. Lund steps in, then steps out. She's been in brilliant form this season, Rachel Lund. 10 tries so far for her this season. Hunt again. George a bit deeper this time. That's a great miss pass. Just breaking the Saracens' defence. Tuipulotu. It's a good presentation as well, just on the floor. George flicks it to Jones. Good response this from Gloucester-Hartpury. Looking to go through the attacking phases themselves. Hurd helping it on into the midfield.
No advantage. Going nowhere, no advantage.
Off back for the high tackle on Lottie Clapp. They got over the gain line, but that slow play, meaning Anthony Woodthorpe's brought us back. George to touch, strong connection on the ball. Kelsey Jones on the pitch for Gloucester-Hartpury. So we do have the three Joneses of Kelsey, Neve and Hannah all on the pitch. Stick with us if we say Jones, and we'll probably have to full name all of them. On for Connie Powell. A bit of a pressure line out here. This is in what could be a good attacking platform. First part done. Monaghan, Tuipulotu, Kelsey Jones to Hunt. Tatiana Hurd just had to stoop down and gather the ball. Call is backwards though. Gloucester-Hartpury still in possession, and now Saracens winning the penalty. I think there was just a slight delay, thinking the ball was knocked on from Gloucester-Hartpury, but Sarries played on, holding on the call, and they'll have a defensive clearing penalty.
Obviously a planned move there, that was from Gloucester, that just didn't necessarily come out. Tatiana Hurd was really, really wide from Mo Hunt in that situation, and ball just started to dip a bit late on her.
Touch finder is found from Williams. Thumbs up from her. Another change as well in the front row. Canadian for Canadian. Maya Montiel for Mackenzie Carson. Overcooked from Campbell, gathered by Neve Jones. Hunt demanding the ball. Not quite on the same wavelength there as her partner. Then there's a 2 miss pass from George, trying to get London to space. The winger's done well. She's done very well, not only to ride the challenge, but stay in touch. Irish lock Monaghan goes forward. George, Delgado to Hurd. Running line of Lewis. Hurd round the outside. Here is Bridger in a bit of space. Big hand off against Vivas. Still going Bridger. Great tackle around the ankles by Cladd. Brilliant tackle, sliding down, but Gloucester-Hartpury with the penalty. This topsy-turvy game keeps going. Mo Hunt with the tap and go. The offload to Hope. Gloucester-Hartpury looking for their first point to the second half. Meters away. There's numbers out wide. Mo Hunt demanding the ball, getting another penalty, and we're going to the book.
No, can't go quick right now.
Sydney Gregson taped up, battered and bruised, and now with the yellow card. And just as it looked like Saracens beginning to get on top, beginning to stamp their authority in this game, Gloucester-Hartpury all over them, and now with a player advantage.
Indeed, and going into the corner for what we assume will be the drive and more, but great play by Gloucester-Hartpury in the build-up, and Sophie Bridger on this right wing is having a stormer. Such experience from such a young head, you know. Lottie Clapp, great cover and tackle, but to leave the ball in the field of play for me is such a savvy decision.
What have Gloucester-Hartpury forwards got here? The Kingsholm crowd getting behind them. The driving maul heading towards the try line, just crabbing slightly. Now resets. The ball is lost, comes out, picked up by Lewis. Just tries to scuttle under the try line. Now here's Bridger out wide again. Bridger for the corner. A second try of the afternoon. The clinical finishing of Sophie Bridger. The space spotted by Mo Hunt. And Gloucester-Hartpury right back in it again.
All from the drive and maul, wasn't it? It looked like it had malfunctioned at one point, but great reaction from Bethan Lewis. She got down on the floor, she rescued the ball, and like you said, Nathan, it's the decision making from Natasha Hunt at the base. Here we see it, it's crabbed, they've started to lose their shape a little bit, they break off, and just gets knocked out the hand, ball goes back. Really good decision, but it's the speed, isn't it? Natasha Hunt's identified the short side. There's a 2-on-1, but because of the strength of Sophie Bridger, she stays low, doesn't get anywhere near that touchline. It's what she makes look an easy score, which certainly isn't.
Lottie Clapp, you can see what she's trying to do, just get under the ball and trying to get it to be held up, but Bridger doing enough.
She is, and it's all from her body position. You know, some wingers stay up high there, and if she doesn't dip her chest, Lottie Clapp buries her into touch there. Because she's caught it, she's stayed low, makes it really difficult for Lottie Clapp to get underneath her.
Lakey George, difficult conversion from out wide. Just short from George. She had the accuracy, it was swinging in with the wind. So close. So 5-point ball game, 20 minutes to go. Do not go anywhere. The league leaders against the champions. This will be some 20.
It's game on, isn't it? In all intents and purposes now, it's who is going to be brave, who is going to take this game by the scruff of the neck. And for Gloucester, they really need to score next now.
They have the player advantage. One short in the backs. Another 8 minutes or so in the bin for Sydney Gregson. Big moments like this, big games in the season, they can define your season. Tatiana Hurd, who's been up for this all match. Back to George, just takes her eye off the ball. Vivas coming through. Just those small decisions, thinking about the kick before executing. And everything just seems to be going Gloucester-Hartpury's way. This scrum will eat up a bit of time and just allow Saracens to sit in Gloucester-Hartpury's 22 for a few minutes.
Oh, they're the ones on that are just really like momentum swinging moments, you know. Looks like Gloucester have got the ball. You always want to exit well, especially after you've just scored, because you have the momentum. And moments like that just kill it dead almost, and something that Lecky George just needs to kind of put in the bin and get on with that next job.
Time is on.
The game happening in the West Country. Bristol Bears 31-5 up against Worcester Warriors. That's half time in that one. And at Twyford Avenue, DMP Sharks, who beat Wasps a few weeks ago, and they are also 5 points to the good at Twyford Avenue again. Get those scores on the Premier 15's social channels. Here on the BBC Sport website and app, BBC iPlayer and Premier15s.com. We're going to bring you the last 20 from Kingsholm. Don't go anywhere. And we spoke about eating some time up on the clock. A welcome free kick for Saracens, and they'll just chew into the clock and scoreboard again because they're going to have another scrum.
It's really sensible decision making that from Saracens. You know, you can hear Marley Packer through the ref mic saying, let's just take a scrum. It eats into time, something that they've got control of. Not taking any risks. Obviously losing your 13 is quite hard in terms of how it opens your backfield up and how you cover that. So really, really smart decision making by Saracens there.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
77 days ago that Gloucester-Hartpury dismantled Saracens at their home patch, but this one, as we predicted, a much tighter affair. Again, another clever carry on the arc from Packer, sucking in a couple of defenders. Sarries keep the ball. Campbell now. How many times we've seen this afternoon that low body position just bump off the first tackler. Here is Casolo now. Bit of energy into the line for her. Might be a player down, but Saracens sniffing a bonus point try. Looking over the far side is McKenna for Clapp. Great identification of space, just not quite the execution.
Great decision. We do not, in my opinion, see enough of that. Penalty advantage, if you've got the wide channels and Lottie Clapp's holding her edge, go kick to her. Worst case scenario, you come back 5 metres out and you can go to the line out. I'm a big fan of those, Nathan.
Well, will it be the line out? We saw a tap penalty in the first half from May Campbell. I think we've got the same again.
When you're ready.
To the delight of Katie Daly-McLean, we're free playing it. Clear with that spin round the tackle. The second go, and Saracens do have the bonus point try. Well, the tap penalty coming off for Saracens there. The celebrations begin. Kelsey Clifford, the one being patted on the back. The incisive play, the cleverness and the idea coming to the fore. And despite being a player down, Saracens have a fourth.
It's that girl Poppy Cleal this time, isn't it? A nice little pirouette. Turns her back, opens up the rift, and just kind of almost like the good old gut pass, isn't it? To Clifford in that situation? Yeah, little gut pass, not held. I'm assuming the referee's saying there because there is a roll, so no tackles complete, she's fine.
Clever score all round. First, the tap penalty, and you mentioned the spin, the pirouette from Poppy Cleal, and then, well, you don't often say a clinical finishing score, but Kelsey Clifford, the mindset to get up, roll, and then head towards the try line. Clever work as Williams adds another couple. Well, the sign of a champion, isn't it? Backs against the wall, a player down, and come up with big plays.
They are absolutely huge scores, like you say. Again, the down to 14. Almost you just want to try and ride that out. And in this situation, Saracens have gone and capitalised again. And really the ball is now massively in Gloucester's court now. 12 points behind.
10 metres.
Need to score next.
Gone 10 off Gloucester, Sarries line out.
Still down to 14, of course. A couple of minutes left on the bin for Sydney Gregson. She is just going through some final warm-ups, Gregson, before returning to the field. Here's the try scorer, Clifford.
Tackle move! Thank you. Stay low. Good job.
Vivas, she's done well there to find some space. She's done very well. Brilliant kick from the Saracens scrum half. Just managed to dissect those in the back three.
Well done.
Such a smart kick that, isn't it? You think there's 3 players back there and she still managed, like you say, just to pick the space. But again, when we talk about momentum, we talk about swings, so all Saracens really have the upper hand here, and it's Gloucester are going to have to wrestle this back if they want to win this game.
Gloucester, come up and meet them. Outside.
Credit to the performances of Vivas, keeping out Leanne Infante of this Saracens number 9 shirts. That again, not quite going right for Gloucester-Hartpury. Not straight into the line from Kelsey Jones.
I think the other thing to mention, Nathan, is probably the change in wind. Standing up here, you can see from the flags that the wind now is definitely at Saracens' back, so they have that right-hand corner just to keep putting and turning Gloucester, which just makes it harder for Gloucester to get out.
Backwards, play on.
The line, I'm not going to plan there. Tuipulotu coming away with it.
She's rolling away and you're chasing her with the ball.
Beckett to the far side. Here is Bethan Lewis looking to put the afterburners on. The chip and chase from the open side. Was she shoved out there by Poppy Cleal? Referee just having a word, and the penalty then coming.
Probably.
The assistant referee on the far side with the call. The home fans certainly weren't happy with what they saw.
Nice little interlink there, wasn't it, from the back row from Beckett and Bethan Lewis. And to be fair, it's not a bad chip and chase either.
Spent a bit of time playing sevens, Bethan Lewis.
Barry's on the line, we're outside.
Very much said she's much more of a 15s player, but some of those all-court ball skills. Played a bit of football growing up, as well as surfing, table tennis. All-round player. Saw some of the skills on show.
Just get a little nudge there from Poppy Cleal.
Tuipulotu, Beckett down the blind side. Here is London, a bit of space. Stepping back inside Lund. Packer comes to meet her.
Still playing penalty advantage.
Now trying to get over the ball. Monaghan running into the frame of Williams. Quick and speedy from Hunt. George over the top. Venner with Bridger outside her. Backs herself, Venner. Good drift defence from Sarries. Hunt again is quick. Tuipulotu.
Penalty advantage over now.
No advantage left for the Cherry and Whites. George looks across, space there for Lund if she can take it, gathers the winger into the corner. Gloucester-Hartpury respond, the bonus point score from them. Rachel Lund with her 11th try this season. This topsy-turvy game keeps going back and forth, and a sniff in the closing stages for the Cherry and Whites.
What a try. It's gone edge to edge, hasn't it? Coast to coast, and from Gloucester there, they've kept the ball. Speed, like we talked about, of Mo Hunt's passing. But when we watch this back, for me, it is all in that kick from Lecky George. It is pinpoint weighted. All Rachel Lund there had to do is catch it, and she's in. But in this wind, I think to understand the accuracy she's had to put there is phenomenal, and a great identification of space, a great execution.
She's having a brilliant season, Rachel Lund, as many of these Gloucester-Hartpury players are. Featured all season in the Allianz Cup as well. Her 11th in 14. As Tuipulotu receives a bit of treatment, but this big kick for Claky George. Just not quite the accuracy, didn't have the legs on the last one. Got a bit of time off here, you can hear from the referee. So we've got 7-point ball game. Sean Lynn, the thoughts of him there, the Gloucester-Hartpury head coach. You wonder what is going through his mind.
Not yet, not on that clock. Not far off it, but...
As you can hear from the referee, his clock has 10 minutes.
We're all good, yeah, okay.
Clock actually in the bowl, and the clock you've got on our live stream. all slightly different. We'll do our best to keep up with him. Hurd, lots of carries so far this afternoon. Delgado, bit of a show inside before taking contact. George, he's had another composed game from number 10.
Tackle now!
Monaghan carrying forward. Hunt to Pelotti, back on her feet. Hurd to Beckett. Lewis now working the ball coast to coast again. Gloucester-Hartpury, they're keen to play, they want to still run the ball. Beckett, the pick and go, steals a couple of metres. Lewis tries a similar vein but knocks it on. Gregson now breaking the tackle. Of course, we're back with 15 on 15 with the return of Gregson. Mayor Montiel, the Canadian prop into contact. From all the tightness and the edginess of the first half, this second half really opened up. Both teams getting in behind each other, beginning to break defensive lines, and we've seen some brilliant rugby.
Tackle now.
One score game, 10 minutes to go.
It's on the ball.
Hit high on the ball is the call for that challenge. Williams helps it on, but Hurd in there wrestling, ripping. She's done it again and ripping it out the tackle. Defensive masterclass from Tatiana Hurd. Then Lewis goes forward, just didn't take the ball.
Tackle, move 14. Good job.
Vivas to Cleal.
Yeah, Ron is not rolling.
Penalty advantage coming Saracens' way. The free play, Clifford. And one with that bonus point try. Vivas to Williams, back inside.
That's a high tackle advantage.
You can
12.
tell
Just slipped up,
all the time Saracens are lacking for that play back inside. Vivas forward to George,
right.
Under some pressure.
Penalties. You've got one here, or you've got one further back but near the touch. You want the one here? Okay.
Do you want the penalty
High
that's
tackle,
further away from the try line or territory? I think we know which one the call was.
Yeah, the one that's
Option,
directly
please,
in front of the post as well.
Okay.
More changes being readied from Saracens. Grace Moore primed to come on.
That's all right.
Interesting decision here, because I wondered whether Sarries would have gone for the point here and just moved it out of a one-score game.
7 white change.
I was thinking the same thing.
Time off.
As Casolo comes off, Moore on for her. A number of years, of course, on the 7th circuit with Ireland. Back in 15s now.
Again, she's been very, very good for Sarries. Thought some of her carries
Time off.
is
She's receiving treatment.
really, really impressive. You know, had gone through a lot of work in that back row where you've got people like Marley Packer there. You've got Poppy Clear. She hasn't looked out of place at all.
Playing at Blackheath last year in Championship South 1. First year in Premier 15s, Sharifa Casolo. She's looked right at home.
Okay.
Chirpalotu hobbling now.
Going off round the back.
I think she wants to carry on
Yeah, 4 is like
the Welsh lock, but
4
might be taken out of her hands. Yes, on comes
Gone off round the back.
Maya Learned. American prop on for the Welsh lock.
Right, that is you. Thank you so much. Okay, time is on now.
Saracens then, can they get a game-winning score? McMillan under pressure from Monaghan. She does well to take it. Campbell lurking, probing at the back. We saw a good 35-metre effort in the first half from Saracens go close. Can they finish this one off? Cleal with her hands on the back of the driving maul, just rolling to the right-hand side. Poppy Cleal now within striking distance. Poppy Cleal with the finish. Saracens with the 5th. And surely now the champions have put the game beyond doubt. The incisive, probing nature of the Saracens driving maul. And Poppy Cleal comes away with it. She's enjoying her time on the floor and milking every second. Saracens a score for the forwards.
It really was, and like you touched on at the beginning, if it's ain't broke, don't fix it. You know it is. It's just so reliable for them. For me, again, as we know, it's probably not my favourite thing. It's the patience. You know, it looks like that Gloucester-Hartpury have stopped it. I think it's that May Campbell at the front just gets a tight little shift, and it just changes the dynamic of the movement. And Poppy Clear really has an armchair at the back. She's just sat nice, tucked in, good ball presentation, and as soon as they're over the line, she knows what she's going to do next.
They are the best in the business in the Premier 15s from driving mauls. Scored more tries than anyone else from them. And it might not be pretty for some rugby purists, but it's certainly as effective, Katie Daly-McLean.
It is. And you know what it is, as a fly half, if I'm sitting behind that and you have that in your armoury, it is so valuable. And it's also what makes what Saracens so dominant in the league.
Flo Williams adds another couple. She's 5 from 6 this afternoon from the tee. Flo Williams has another one for Katie Daly-McLean to enjoy from an opposite corner, but Poppy Clear, this won't show it, but she enjoyed her time sitting down there. I think Saris know now, 14 points. This would take something special in the final 5 from Gloucester-Hartpury.
Tackle!
All week, Saracens spoke about that not really being a them performance in this reverse fixture, wanting to set the record straight. It's certainly been a battle, it's certainly been two teams with a lot of quality, but the champions heading towards a bonus point win on the road at the league leaders.
And to be able to bring someone like Leanne Infante on as well with, 10 minutes ago, just shows the class of that Saracens bench as well.
They are an impressive outfit.
I have 4 in a bit.
Get the thoughts of Premier 15's player of the match in just a moment. Kelsey Jones has a line out to take. Mo Hunt, Hurd, George to Jones. Gregson sliding across and bringing it down. Venner back inside to Kelsey Jones.
Tackle no, Poppy no! Thank you.
Hope, George, Hurd, Jones, Hannah that is, just had to check a second. Thought she'd bought the half yard to break clap, but she did well, the Saris co-captain. Now Hope.
Tackle now, 18.
Hunt, Beckett, spinning and swivelling into contact. George now, Hurd, still looking to play. Here is Bridger, capable of the brilliant, and so is that. Out to the far side. Just for a second it looked like we might be in there, and Lund had a bit of gas, but
yes, time off.
I came across with the white shirts, did just enough.
Yeah, it was a lovely ball again from Sophie Bridger, wasn't it? Just to link that play. Referee called it flat. But yeah, she's been, for a centre playing out of position today, Sophie Bridger, as a late call, I thought she's gone really well today.
Smiles on the faces of the home fans, big thumbs up as well. There'll be disappointment, you imagine, for those of a cherry and white persuasion. Signe Gregson again, she's been in the wars this afternoon. But a couple of minutes left. Your Allianz Premier 15's player of the match, Katie Daly-McLean.
So a couple of notable mentions. Like I said, I thought Sophie Bridger for Gloucester-Hartpury has been phenomenal. Out of position on the wing, late call-up, she's gone very well. But and I think if we go to Saracens, it's going to come from Saracens. I thought Flo Williams, we talked about her at the beginning of the show, stepping into Zoe Harrison's shoes. I thought she's been very good. She's ticked Saracens on nicely. But for me, the man of the match is Marley Packer. She's been absolutely phenomenal today. You know, her dogged, jackling, awful work at the breakdown, and then some of her handling some of her carries, and then you just take the tries she took as well. They were real big momentum swingers for me, and so yeah, Marley Packer is my man of the match.
Get a word with the Saracens co-captain after the game. Is down the blind side. Gloucester-Hartpury go again. Another all-action performance from Marley Packer. Bethan Lewis.
Tackle now, Saracens!
looking to finish with a flourish.
Stay low, Georgia.
The home side.
No, Molly. Clearly onside. Don't play her. Don't play her.
No, just wanting a clean delivery of the ball. George Hurd did brilliantly to take that up high, whilst also running forward.
Tackle now. Let it go, Saracens.
Mo just demanding quick ball is how she wants to play. She wants off the cuff. She wants to not let this Saracens defence reset. Kelsey Jones now. That's a good carry from the replacement hooker. Now they need the ball. But Saracens have reset. Beckett tips it off to Lewis. Mo Hunt again. Advantage coming in. Tatiana Hurd playing on. Off one tackle, off another tackle. Tatiana Hurd for the line. Just short, well placed. Hunt to the far side, into the corner. Gloucester-Hartpury with the finish. Rachel Lund again with the second try. And well. Need to knock over the conversion. And there will be a grandstand finish. We will restart. But Rachel Lund second. And potentially with the conversion, a losing bonus point. Gloucester-Hartpury going to the end. All about, though, that initial break from Hurd getting in behind.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Tatiana Hurd did phenomenal, didn't she? We haven't seen the replay there, but the amount of tacklers that she bounces and just the meters she makes, and then great presentation, which just allows Mo Hunt to fizz that ball across. And both wingers, I talked about Sophie Bridger earlier, but Rachel Lund as well. Just they're so flat, and because they're so flat, it does allow the defence to cover across. It means that Mo can throw these quick, fast passes across the front of defenders. Defenders have no chance to react.
Important kick from Claky George, yet to find her way between the sticks. And so close to take it to within losing bonus point territory. We'll have a
Georgia,
final play.
6, Georgia, change. There's the last play now.
As you can hear from the referee, this is the last play.
Okay.
So Gloucester-Hartpury, they have themselves a try bonus point. Saracens already have one of those as well, of course. They're heading for a 5-point win. But Cherry and Whites need another score to get within losing bonus point territory. It'll have to be the long way around. Lewis starts it off with a carry. Hunt looking down the blind side for Bridger. She is one capable of the brilliant. Hunt quickly away. Hope to Beckett. George. Hurd. Dunny runner is Neve Jones. Here is Hannah Jones to Mia Venner. Lund on the outside of her. Of course, her and Bridger.
Tackle move for Hurd, 12.
Both potentially on hat-tricks. Kelsey Jones hit back. That's a good defensive effort. Advantage on the play and a penalty advantage as well.
17 not rolling. Why 17 not rolling?
Now, Saracens, they will go home with the win. But Gloucester-Hartpury just looking to end on a high. And these two, you imagine, given their performances so far right in the playoff semi-final mix, you wouldn't be surprised to see them back here at Kingsholm in the final.
Saracens will be delighted about that, won't they, back here at Kingsholm.
A very neutral crowd, I'm sure, over from London. Tender process won by Kingsholm for the final this year. Off the top. Gloucester-Hartpury need to produce something. They need one more score to come away with this game with 2 points, but it's stolen by Saracens. Moore comes away with it. All the champions have to do is now get it off the field. Infante looking for somebody, and Marley Packer, well, she scored a couple of tries. She's been involved in turnovers. She's been involved in a huge defensive effort, and it is her boots which ends